Today, I just want to chat with you. I'm not going to be super crazy serious and deep. It can get there, but messed me up with this song, so now I got to talk about it. Out of hiding. When I first got this job, Dr. Jackson said, "I need you to go visit a school. I need you to go to North Central University and check out their worship department and what they're doing." And so I go over there, and the culture of worship and the spiritual culture of that campus blew me away. And I literally thought, no, this isn't real. There's no way. Something is like, it's fake. I was like, how do they do this? Like, people are on the ground worshiping. It's during COVID season, so it was like literally social distanced worship on the ground. So they were like laying down and all these different things and kneeling and all these different things. And I was just like, man, can it be real? And that night, we met with about, 30 leaders, student interns and leaders in their campus ministries team and all that. And I just said, look, I just need to know. I've already met with the leaders. I've already met with the pastors. I've already met with everybody here. Is this really real? Is this your culture? And every single one of them said, yes. This is what we've created. This is what was created before we got here, but all student-led. And I'm like, man, this is super, super powerful. Just the fact that y'all get to do what you're doing, how you do it, when you want. Their favorite service, their favorite worship time, there is all student-led on a Wednesday night. Has nothing to do with chapel, has nothing to do with all that. It's just their own. And I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's a culture that they've created that they want, and they're doing it. And I'm like, man, this is cool. The next day, right after this conversation we had, so there at that school, they have chapel 5 days a week. And so they don't get a time off. Now, if you're a freshman there, you got to go 4 of the 5 days a week. If you're a sophomore, 3 of the 5. If you're a junior, 2 of the 5, and senior, so on and so forth, right? So there's always people there. And I heard this song for the first time. I've heard it before, I think, when it first came out, but never really paid attention to it. And when they did this song, when they came into that second verse, and it was just so powerful, something happened to me. Just like, there's something about the song that's just killing me. It's just, what is it? And later, the speaker refers to the song in his message, and I didn't know the story of, I had no idea the story of the writer of this song. And this gal, if you know her, I don't want to mess up her name, but Stephanie, I think it's Gretzinger is the way you say it, Stephanie. She was over at Bethel when she wrote this song, and now she's working with Maverick City, and God has opened doors for her and stuff like that. But when she wrote this song, she was going through some major stuff. She had, I'm not, if I can recall, it was either stage 3 or stage 4 cancer. And she's sitting here, and she's writing all these songs, and she's doing all this music for people, and she's sitting there going, I'm doing all this for you, and yet you're not healing me. I'm going around, and I'm traveling the world, and I'm singing, and I'm writing songs, and I'm doing this, and yet I'm sitting here and I'm suffering. And it was just this moment that I thought, like, I sit there and I complain a lot, and I sit there and I'm angry or frustrated or anxious or whatever, and God is using her still in the midst of her pain, in the midst of her junk, in the midst of this disease. So then when you start to pay attention to the bridge of the song, she literally said it was a dream that she had, and God was talking to her, saying, baby, you're almost home now. Please don't quit now. You're almost home to me. And when I heard it in that perspective and that thought and in that way, it killed me. And then, just like they did today, and I don't know if you did it on purpose because we talked about it. You probably did. I don't know. But they went into how he loves us out of this bridge. And I was just like, found myself on the floor too worshiping. And I'm like, this is just, it blew me away on how these songs and how this love for us is just so amazing. And it's crazy that you talked about the prodigal son story, because that's what I was going to talk about today. And I'm just like, hey, this is how God works, I guess, because, we didn't talk about it. But I just want to talk to you about a couple of things real quick, and then I'm going to do something with Jerome and Kayla and our team. But the 2 words that I wanted to talk about today, and I want to thank you, and you guys for the most part are sitting right here, are honor and service. This is officially now, I'm going to wrap up my first semester as your director of campus ministries, and I am truly honored and privileged to be here. One of my really good friends, Scott, is here, and we pretty much started at the same time, and we look at each other often over lunch, and I sit there and I'm like, I can't believe I have this job. I can't believe I get paid to do what I do, because to sit here and to talk with you and to honor you and to help you and what you guys do, it's a gigantic blessing for me, because whatever God has ever given me and poured into me, I just want to give it out to you, and you guys are doing an incredible job. And when I think about the word honor, there's so many things that come to my head. There's so many stories. There's so many people in the Bible that come to my head. You think about Daniel, think about Moses and Joshua. You think about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. You think about Paul. You think all these different, Joseph and what he did. Moses, obviously, he has all these different types of things, and Joshua takes over. But obviously, the main, when it comes to honor, is Jesus himself, right? How he honored people, how he served people, how he came, how he was beneath and not above, but yet he was the King of Kings, and how he would sit there and wash your feet, and he would sit there and hang out with people that nobody else wanted to. And he knew, and he told us that honoring somebody, making somebody else feel better, making somebody else's day, making somebody else just feel loved, it was more important than what you do when you're self-seeking and you're looking at yourself. And leadership, that is sometimes it's a fine line. Sometimes it's really hard to understand, because a lot of the times it feels like you don't get honor back, right? It doesn't feel like it's reciprocal. It doesn't come back to you. So it makes it kind of hard sometimes. You're like, here I am serving, and I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm giving, and I'm giving, and what about me? Well, the only thing that you have to worry about when it comes to what about you is him, right? Honoring him, you're going to get what you need. You're going to get where you're going, right? Aaliyah, you hit the nail on the head in talking about just your story on Monday night on, hey, you just put your head down and do what you got to do here and watch what God is doing and how he reveals himself. Really hard to be patient in that season, right? Very hard to be patient, very hard to sit still. But if you can learn that trick, if you can learn that discipline of just, hey, you got me, but help me to trust in that, help me to do that, right? And you guys, my team, my campus ministries team, for the most part, is right here in front. And I know there's a few that are home watching online, and for those of you watching online, I honor you too today. You guys are amazing. But the two verses that I have here, Romans 12:10, be devoted to one another in love. You've done that, and you've done it to me, and I appreciate you. Honor one another above yourselves. You've done that too, and I appreciate and honor you guys for that. The whole thing, if you guys have heard this, you know how people say give honor when honor is due, and you kind of try to figure out where that comes from. Well, that comes from the Bible too. Romans 13:7, give to everyone what you owe them. It's a big old long thing. I just took the last one, verse 7. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. That's boring and sucks sometimes, but the Bible tells you to do that. If in revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. But if in honor, then honor. Okay? If you want to be honored, then you need to honor. If you want to be, and I don't mean this in a bad way. If you want to be served, then serve. I don't mean you want, servants, and I don't mean by that, but you know what I mean. It's get to a place where you can feel comfortable serving somebody and watch what God does to you. I want to challenge you today with this as well. There's a lot of you, so school's going to end next week, and some of you are going to stay here. Some of you are going to go home. And I pray and I hope that when you are home, you get to go and serve somebody, maybe in your local church. What you have learned here, what you were taught here, what you have done in your teams here. And I know that there's other leaders in the room besides campus men, the residence department, and all the other Joe and all the student leaders. You guys have been taught and you have done, and we have allowed you to lead in the way that we would like for you to lead, and then some of you did it in your own way, and it's cool. You guys have fresh new ideas, and that's awesome. I challenge you to take that home. I challenge you to go to your local church and serve your pastor and serve your church. I got so many notes in that song, again, messed me up. But I do want you to do that. You're going to be, I believe that everybody comes to this school. When you graduate from here and you leave here, you're going to be a leader. I don't care what you do. If you're in a church and you're a pastor, if you're a teacher, if you're a businessman, if you're in kinesiology, if you're a nurse that comes out of here with a new program, I don't care what you do. In what you're going to be doing, I know that you're going to be a leader. So one day you're going to have people under you that you're going to be maybe saying the same thing, and you're going to have a certain expectation maybe of what they do, how they honor you, how they serve, and what's going on around you. But it's going to start with what you go do. And I know you've been doing it here, and it's kind of like the have to. You're an intern. You're a leader, student leader, and this is like, you have to. Learn how to do this when you don't have to. I challenge you to do this, what you guys have been doing, when you don't have to, and you do it because you want to. I believe with all my heart that God has given you, everybody in this room, those watching online, He's given you gifts. And the gifts that He has given you, it's happened to one of my interns lately. Your gifts are what prepare you and what get you ready for your calling. And the gifts that God has given you, I use the word, and they know this, Swiss Army knife a lot. I believe that when you're in this place, God has given you all these gifts and preparing you, and it's just making your Swiss Army knife that many more, gadgets in it. If you know the Swiss Army knife, there's a screwdriver, and there's a cork, and there's a scissors, and there's a knife, and then one of them has a little saw thing, and I've always thought, what the heck are you going to do with the little saw? Well, if you go camping, you use it. If you ever need to cut a rope or cut the different things, all those things are usable in life, for real. And I know that you have been making your Swiss Army tool. You've been adding things to that, right? And now it's going to be time to go use those in your calling, and whatever that calling is that God has prepared you for. And so even when it doesn't feel good and it stinks that you have to wake up early or go somewhere or be here at a certain time, God is allowing you to make that little tool sharp, better, the correct tool inside of your Swiss Army knife. I think of you, Aaliyah, as you're about to go step into your new role. He's prepared you for that. And whatever middle school student or high school student or leader that is going to be under you, you are now going to be able to go, look, I know how to lead you because, one, I've done it, and two, my heart's in the right place. And that's what I want for all of you, is for you to go and find your local church. I was just, Pastor Damien spoke two weeks ago at the church, and he was speaking so much at Real Life. He was speaking so much and just killing it when it came to service, and he was just like, God has put me in a position of where I am today because of how I decided to serve and really come under. And he went from literally being the janitor to working in the nursery to running the soundboard to picking up garbage to cleaning the cobwebs. And he was on paid staff, not getting paid that much, right? And those of you, you guys all know that, right? And he just chose to do it out of his heart. And he felt the more he did it, God was revealing himself to him. In the middle of serving, he found somebody else that was serving that ended up becoming his wife. In the middle of serving, he found somebody else that ended up being one of his main mentors. In the middle of serving, he found other people who helped him, whether it was financially or whether it was with whatever. And he didn't even ask for it. It was just God's provision for his life. So I thank you, my leaders, and those of you in this room. I know that there's other coordinators and directors in the room. I know Farmer's in here, and Dave's in here, and different people are in here. You guys have served us. You guys have honored us. You've honored your positions, and we thank you for that. We can't do our job without you, right? And I so thank you for that. For me personally, this was my first 5-6 months at the school, right? And we talked about Anchored. Anchored was our theme for the year. And I feel like I'm ready to do whatever God has now for the remainder of my time here, whatever he has. But I feel like I'm anchored. I have a foundation. And I want to look at my team specifically, my campus men team, and I know that this year, 2020, and even the beginning of 2021, maybe wasn't the best when it came to COVID and all that stuff, right? It was just, even now, a bunch of people not here, right? Kind of ending the year kind of the way it started, kind of, sort of. But I know that you have helped me really dig in and get a firm foundation. Dr. Jackson spoke to this about this with us in a leadership meeting, and it was really cool because, again, for those of you who know me, I think about the golf swing at every moment of every day. And if you want to have a good golf swing, your foundation has to be good. Whatever the lower body is, whatever the lower body's doing is what your upper body's going to do in the golf swing, right? And the more firm it is as you're turning, the more you're connected to the ground, the better that's going to be the shot, right? I feel like you've helped me really, really, really dig in and really, really get firm in my foundation here, and I am ready. I know that you may not ever see the fruits of what you helped me do here, but I honor you and I thank you because you've helped me establish what I know that I'm going to be doing here forevermore. And those of us, next year, hopefully in 2022, right, when we are able to do missions trips and all that stuff again, it's going to be your hard work. It's going to be your foundation that you set that's going to make it really, really good for the future. And I know that there's some of you who are global outreach and local outreach, and we weren't able to do a lot of things out there. But look how God has, through you, helped us create relationships with City of Refuge, with Convoy of Hope, with Salt Mine. And I know that there's a lot of things that came before I came, and you guys are continuing, but I know that there's going to be new things that come, and the foundation that you guys helped me set for myself, I honor you and I thank you because you have helped me set the foundation of where we're going to go in the future. So I thank you so much for that. Can we just give it up for them real quick? Thank you. And for those of you leaders that aren't here and you're watching online that are on my team, I honor you and I thank you. You are awesome. I'm going to call Kayla and Jerome up, and they're going to come and hang out with me for a little bit. But I just specifically just want to shout out a couple of the seniors in my group. Aaliyah, you said this on Monday, and it was maybe more for me than maybe everybody else out there. But Aaliyah talked on Monday, if you weren't there, she talked about this is the sentence is ending, and there's a period, and then the next paragraph, right? The next part of your life, the next sentence is starting. So for you seniors, Aaliyah and Deb, and I know that Rachel, you're not technically graduating, but you are. And then for all of you, though, really, a lot of you are moving on to something else. Some are going to be an RA, or you're going to move on to something else. And I thank you, and I challenge you, too, inside of that whole thought of there's going to be a period, and then next, right? Your next paragraph. I just want to challenge you again. Serve, honor your leaders. The way you've done it to me, continue to do that to others, and God's going to knock your socks off, and he's going to bless you like crazy. So I just want to give them an opportunity to just say a little something to you guys, and then we're going to do something. Here, you can go ahead.
Well, thank you. I'm Kayla, for those of you who don't know, and I'm the Campus Ministries Coordinator, so I have gotten to work with our awesome team of interns this whole year. But yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I just want to thank all of you interns for this year. You were put through some crazy circumstances, maybe one of the craziest years we've seen here at Jessup, with everything COVID related and transitions and all of that. And just the resilience that all of you showed this whole year is insane. It was really, really humbling and inspiring to get to watch you guys grow through this whole year, and just keep persevering and keep going in the midst of all of the chaos, with family things going on, with work and school and stress. There's been plenty of stress this whole year, and just to see all of you just keep growing in that and keep going, and to develop your own leaders on your teams as well, within chapel and outreach and everything in between. It was really, really humbling, and yeah, you guys are awesome. I love that PJ wanted to honor you guys today, and so we want to honor PJ as well, because he came in the middle of this year and had a whole team of people who were here for a whole semester before him, And he didn't know what he was walking into, and he has adapted so well. He's had to learn Jessup culture, Jessup lingo, all the acronyms for everything. When you think about it, it's really weird. And he's had to learn a lot of it. And so we just want to honor him and thank him for being a really good boss. He's super empowering. And yeah, we thank him. We honor him for that too.
All right, I'll be real brief. That mic is loud. So I just want to say thank you guys. I came on this January, and so I was only with you guys for half a semester, so I didn't get to experience the first half of the year with you guys. And it's been such a welcoming experience. Being here at Jessup beforehand and then transitioning to new roles is sometimes kind of awkward, and you don't really know how you're going to fit in, and especially with a new intern team. And it's always an awkward situation. But you guys as a team really welcomed me in, and I felt like right at home right away, and I'm really thankful for that. And then watching like how you guys just killed it all semester. You guys run a ton of events all the time, every single week, and you guys are some of the most independent and just like well put together team I've ever seen in my entire life. And so you guys just absolutely killed it this semester. And I'm just proud to know you guys. I'm excited for those of you who are graduating and like what's happening next. Those of you who are getting married and starting new jobs and just starting teaching and all these different things. I think I'm just excited to be a part of that journey with you guys these last couple of weeks. And I'm super excited to see you guys a couple months from now, a couple years from now, and hopefully you guys come back and you see us and you visit us and share what God is doing in your lives. And then my man PJ over here. I also just want to say thank you, man. Like you, I don't even know why you hired me, but I'm super thankful that you did. You did not know me at all. But it was definitely a blessing, and I feel like the Lord, I don't know, he's done really cool things in my life through you. And for that, I'm so thankful. And I'm super excited to work with you, man, and to go into the summer and then into next year with our new intern team and just everything that's happening. It's going to be really cool. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. You can stay right here because I just want to do something real quick for those of you who are in the room, the current campus men team. If you can just come up here real quick. You can face that way when you come up here. And just thank you. There's a few that aren't here, quite a bit actually. Most of them are, I think, at home. But again, I just want to thank you so much. I want to share this one thing. Just listen to this part, and then we're going to pray in a little bit. But when you go to wherever you're going to go this summer, your church or whatever, find one person that you can serve, and just honor and serve the daylights out of them. Okay? Even if it's just one person. Email them, a small group, a note. I know that one part that time that we wrote notes to each other, that was just really cool. Do that, okay? That was just really cool. Lean in, listen closely, and then take this in the right way. Try to outserve somebody in a really good way, right? If they're serving you, double it. Like turn around and just like outserve them, and watch what God does. Watch what he does with all of that. And I just want to challenge you with that, and those other leaders in this room, is go do it. Your actions are way louder than words, and all of your actions have been amazing. So again, I just thank you, I honor you, and I can't wait to see. Please stay in touch too, little notes, little emails, whatever. Let us know what God is doing. So I want to pray over them, but I also want to pray if there's anybody in the room that is either a new campus men intern or any other new intern out there. And those of you watching online, I can't see you, but maybe I'm talking to you. We want to pray over you. So if you're a new intern, whether you're going to be campus men or you're going to be Residence Life or Joe or whatever you're going to be, if you're in the room, can you just stand? If you are in the room, yeah, there's a few of you, yes. And those of you online, we're going to pray over you. But those of you who can, that are here, you can go social distancing. Maybe just stay right there or get a little close and just stretch your hands towards them. And we're going to pray for them this morning and do that. So God, thank you so much for this morning. I thank you for this time, Lord. I thank you that you show us how to serve, that you showed us, Lord, in your word, how to serve and what to do and how to honor. God, and I thank you for these people, these amazing people in this room, Lord, these leaders that have honored me, have honored this school, have honored the legacy of this school, Lord, by doing what they do. And I just pray that you bless them like crazy, God, as they move on from, whether they're moving on from our school because they're graduating or moving to another another department, Lord, that you just continue to grow in them, that you continue to show your love and your grace and your mercy. Lord, I pray provision. I pray for opening of amazing doors and the windows of heaven just to bless them like crazy. God, I pray specifically, Lord, to shut doors that need to be shut, that close those windows, that close those things that need to be just completely out of their life first, so that they can really recognize how awesome it is, the door that you have opened for them, Lord. So I pray for that specifically, Lord. I thank you for the team that we have had this year. I pray that you allow them one day to see the foundation that they built here is going to so go forward, and the fruit of their labor is going to be just amazing, God. So I also pray for the new team as we come into next year, Lord, and this new team is going to come and serve in whatever department, in whatever area, Lord, that you give them fresh ideas, fresh thoughts, fresh vision, Lord, and that they can serve with all of their heart, Lord. And I pray that you just, again, knock their socks off too, Lord, and it's going to be so good. So, Lord, we love you and we thank you because you're a good Father and you're so good to us, God, and you are so good. We love you. Help us to have a great rest of today and to take advantage of the rest of the opportunities today, tonight, tomorrow, and Friday, Lord. We love you. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.